Bishop Dr. LaDonna Osborne. Welcome to Global Voices of the ICCC. Joining me today is someone you are really going to want to get to know. Her name is Ceitci Demirkova, and she is from Bulgaria. Ceitci, thanks for joining us. I'm so grateful to have this chance to visit with you. I'd love for you to just tell our listeners, our viewers, about your ministry, what's really going on through your hands that God is doing in Bulgaria.
Thank you so much, Bishop LaDonna. I am very honored to be a part of this. And yes, I am Bulgarian. I have actually lived in the United States for the past 26 years. I arrived here when I was a young woman at age 19 with 100 words of English and $100 with a big dream to change the world and make it a better place through the gospel. And I started my nonprofit organization that has now been, this year we're celebrating 26 years. And I started it with just what was in my hands, $50 that I had. And I felt like I wanted to help young boys and girls find the gospel, have a better life, rescue them from the streets of poverty and give them hope, education, and future that they would never have if they would have been trafficked or kidnapped or just living on the streets. And so now our organization, we started with one orphan when I was 19, and now we have several thousand kids that come through our program every month, that they receive food, they receive education, and we have weekly programs for the community. We have programs in the schools, in the kindergartens. We expanded into 21 different locations within Bulgaria. And for those who are listening to us, Bulgaria is a small country in Eastern Europe. It was a communist nation for 45 years. We had absolutely no understanding of the gospel, absolutely no hope. And when I got saved at age 16, I felt like that was my ultimate purpose, is to bring the gospel to the people and to help my own country have that hope that I had received through Christ.
Let me ask you, Ceitci, were you the first in your family to accept Christ, or were your parents already believers in Jesus?
I was the first one, and in my entire family, nobody had accepted the Lord before me. We were never allowed to believe in Jesus. We were never allowed to believe in anything. The Communist Party was God, and we had to submit every idea, desire. The word dream didn't even exist in our vocabulary when we were growing up. So for people who are listening, just that, and maybe for those who are in international communities, you would understand what that means, that you are not allowed the freedom to choose to believe in anything but what the government tells you to do.
So when you say that when you accepted Christ, you had a dream to change the world.
I did.
Where did that come from?
I started reading the book of Acts the next day after I got a Bible. So I gave my life to the Lord through missionaries who came on our street in Bulgaria to give us food. And they gave me a Bible, had never seen a Bible until I was 16, held it in my hands. And I thought, wow, this smells so good. Well, it was put between bananas and oranges and chocolate. And we had never seen those items under communism. And so I opened it in the book of Acts. I started reading, and I read how the disciples were traveling and preaching the gospel. And I thought, well, nobody wants me. I'm very shy, very insecure. At that time, I was very suicidal, didn't think that I had any purpose in my life. And just from reading the first few chapters of Acts, I felt like I was talking God into doing what I do today. Little did I know that that was God's plan for my life. But yeah, that's how I began.
A wonderful, wonderful testimony, not only of your conversion, but how the Lord guided you through his word into an area so revolutionary from your background. So from that stage, you came to the States and you launched, what is the name of your organization?
Changing a Generation,
Changing
with
a
the
Generation.
slogan, One Life at a Time.
One life at a time. So your website is Changing a Generation?
Changingageneration.net.
.net. Wonderful. So, of course, I would encourage anyone to go to your website and learn more about the ministry, see the faces of these Bulgarian children. Wow. To
Yes.
see from one to how many now are you feeding?
Well, we had over 1,000 kids that we were able to give Christmas presents to in November. And last year
Tremendous.
we fed about 5,000 families who have 5 to 10 kids
This is
in
tremendous.
most places.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. These are such important pieces of your story. We appreciate it.